Hi, when multiplying two binomials, you will get something that looks like this: a plus b multiplied by c plus d. When multiplying out double brackets, we need to multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. When doing this, we use FOIL, F-O-I-L, which stands for first, outside, inside, last. First, we multiply the first term in the first bracket with the first term in the second bracket. In this case, it would be a and c, and we get ac. Then we multiply our outside terms, which in this case are a and d, and we get ad. Then we multiply our inside terms, which in this case is b and c, and we get bc. Finally, we multiply our last terms, which in this case are b and d, and we get bd. Let's look at some examples. Here we have x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 2. Let's start with our first terms. X multiplied by x gives us x squared. Then we multiply our outside terms. X multiplied by 2, which is positive 2x. Positive 2x. Then we multiply our inside terms. 4 and x, which gives us positive 4x. And then we multiply our last terms. 4 multiplied by 2 gives us positive 8. Now we can see here that we've got 2x and 4x. So we need to add like terms. So we're going to get x squared. 2x plus 4x gives us 6x. So we say plus 6x. And then we plus 8. In this example, we have x minus 6 multiplied by x minus 7. Let's do our first terms. X multiplied by x gives us x squared. Then we have x multiplied by negative 7, which gives us negative 7x. Then we have negative 6 multiplied by x, which is negative 6x. And finally, we multiply negative 6 by negative 7, which gives us positive 42. Now we can add our like terms. We have x squared. We have negative 7x minus 6x, which gives us negative 13x. And then we add 42. Here we have a negative 3 and a positive 8. So we can say x multiplied by x, which gives us x squared. X multiplied by 8 gives us positive 8x. Negative 3 multiplied by x, negative 3x. And then we have negative 3 multiplied by positive 8, which gives us negative 24. Let's add our like terms. X squared. 8 minus 3, which gives us positive 5x minus 24. When working with fractions, we still multiply out in exactly the same way. So we're going to say x over 3 multiplied by x over 2. Let's write that over here. X over 3 multiplied by x over 2. Then we have x over 3 multiplied by negative 3. So we say negative 3 multiplied by x over 3. Now we have negative 2 multiplied by x over 2. Negative 2 multiplied by x over 2. And finally, we have negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. Now we can simplify. X multiplied by x gives us x squared. 3 multiplied by 2 gives us 6. So we get x squared over 6. Over here, the 3's cancel, and we are left with negative x. Over here, our 2's cancel, and we are left with negative x again. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 3 gives us positive 6. Now we can add our like terms, and we get x squared over 6. Negative x minus x gives us negative 2x plus 6. Here we have got a square bracket. Now remember that if you have x multiplied by x, you get x squared. If you have y multiplied by y, you get y squared. So in this case, x plus 3 squared is actually x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3. Now we can expand our brackets. X multiplied by x gives us x squared. X multiplied by 3 gives us positive 3x. 3 multiplied by x gives us positive 3x again. And 3 multiplied by 3 gives us positive 9. Now we can add like terms. We have x squared. 3x plus 3x gives us positive 6x. And then we have 9. Now there is a trick to tackling square brackets. I want to write this over here, x plus 3 squared. The trick is as follows. First, we square the first term, so we get x squared. Then we multiply the two terms together, and we get 3x. Then we double this answer, so that becomes 6x. And then we square our second term. 3 squared is positive 9. And you can see here that the answers are the same. In this example, we have got z plus 8 multiplied by z minus 8. First, let's multiply our z's, and we get z squared. Then let's multiply z by negative 8, and we get negative 8z. Then we multiply 8 by z, and we get positive 8z. And then we get 8 multiplied by negative 8, which is negative 64. Now we can add like terms. We have z squared. Negative 8z plus 8z cancels out, and we have left with negative 64. Now, I just want to tidy this up a little bit. As you can see in these brackets, they both have a z term, and they have a constant of 8. One is positive, and one is negative. When you have brackets like this, there is a trick that we can use. First, we multiply z by z, and we get z squared. And then we multiply 8 by negative 8, and we get negative 64, which is the answer over here. And the reason that we can do this is, as you can see over here, the middle terms cancel out. This is always a good trick to use, especially in your examinations. 3x plus 2 multiplied by 3x minus 2 multiplied by 9x squared minus 4. Now in this case, we have got 3 brackets, but we can handle them in a very, very similar way as we've done all the others. Now in our previous example, we said if you've got 2 brackets where your terms are the same, 3x and 3x and 2 and 2, and your signs are the opposite, all we have to do is multiply our first terms and our last terms. So let's say 3x multiplied by 3x, and we get 9x squared. Then we have positive 2 multiplied by negative 2, and we get negative 4. And then we can add in our second bracket, 9x squared minus 4, 9x squared minus 4. Now we have 9x squared minus 4 multiplied by 9x squared minus 4, which is another way of saying 9x squared minus 4 all squared. So we're going to use the trick that we learned for squared brackets. Let's start by squaring our first term, 9x squared. 9 squared is 81, so we have 81. X squared squared is x to the power of 4. Now let's multiply these two terms together. 9 multiplied by 4 gives us 36. It's negative 4, so we get negative 36. Double negative 36, and we get negative 72. Don't forget your x squared, x squared. Finally, we can square negative 4. Negative 4 squared gives us positive 16. And we have now completed this question. We will look at other examples like this in upcoming videos.